If you're ready to harness the power of your communications data, blast off with Nylas today.
Hello, Rem. How are you?
I'm good, Black. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. And you can see that I messed up a little bit. I was trying to choose the video. I choose this overlay. It was kind of confusing. But finally, we're live.
We're live. Awesome. So
Yeah.
what are we talking about today?
So we're going to talk about email grouping, which is kind of like email threading.
Okay.
So it's pretty much I send you an email, you reply back to me, and that becomes a thread.
Okay.
So it's two emails kind of like linked together.
Gotcha.
I reply and you reply, and we have like more like a chain. That's like a bigger thread. And then you can send me another email, I can reply, and we can go like that. So we're going to have an amount of emails in a thread.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. And sometimes I see when I look at an email, there are like maybe 27 messages in it, and it's really hard to navigate and look through. It's almost like I like to call it an email mountain, where it's just like you just don't want to look over and look under it and see what's there.
Exactly.
And it's hard to navigate. So what are you going to show us today?
So I'm going to show, let me share my screen. It's a way to actually display email threads or email grouping in a nicer way.
Okay.
Because I mean, most of the time you send me an email, for example, with a long text, and when I reply, it's going to grab whatever you wrote, and it's going to be there, right?
Yep.
So every time we reply, it's going to get longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. So this one, it is going to grab the threads, going to create the emails, it's going to get rid of the email signature, it's going to get rid of the Twitter handle, of the phone number, and also it's going to get rid of whatever was on the past message. We're just going to only display what matters to us.
So here you're going to look through all emails and just pull out the ones where there's more than one response in an email. So so basically an email with two messages in it and display it.
Yes, exactly.
Cool.
So right now I'm using my connected account, my Nylas account, and I'm going to look for emails that I exchange between myself and my personal email. Because for some reason I like to email myself. We're going to look for it. And basically at Nylas, I mean, we don't actually use email for communication between ourselves. We use more Slack. So one way of having threads is actually sending emails and replying myself.
So you created a few threads with emails from your personal to work email account.
Exactly. Okay. Exactly. So you see it's taking a bit because it's taking everything. So here we can see we have 3 threads. So that's the title. How is the project going? Is this a thread? And how are you? This is in an accordion. So if I click here, we're going to see that my Nylas self sent me an email on September 28th saying like any results. Here you see, here's my signature. There's no email. There's no cell phone. There's no Twitter or anything.
Okay.
And I replied like a minute later. It should be done this week unless we have some bugs. Here again, we don't have kind of the on September 28th, Black said this, right? So it's just the message and the signature. So it's shorter, easier to consume. This one is a little bit longer. So I ask myself, is this email threading? Gotta be otherwise. And here, don't ask me, I have no clue. Right? But you can see, I mail myself, then I reply. So we have 3 messages in this thread. And also we can see that we're grabbing the image or the profile picture of each of the accounts just to make it easier to know who's sending the message.
Okay. So you're really just taking the emails for the accounts using Nylas, which we'll take a look at the code very soon. And you're just grabbing a few pieces of the information. So actually the main body of the email and the photo, and you're putting it in more of a friendlier chat version so you can go through the email thread.
Yes,
awesome.
Exactly. And also, as I mentioned, I'm getting rid of everything that it's like email or cell phone or Twitter handle or the response back, right? So for example, this one, when I replied here, usually it's going to be like on whatever day Black said this, right? But here I'm removing it because it doesn't make sense. I'm not really reading it here. So here it just makes sense to have just the response.
Gotcha.
So it's easier to go and look for it.
Yeah, I think you've shown this maybe before we hopped on. Is every email you kind of contain the previous thread, and it grows and grows and grows. So it's really hard to navigate. So here you can just see each message, and you can scroll up and down and see the full thread and the context of all the past emails or all the past messages within the thread, which is cool.
Mhm.
I like this.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of it. I mean, that's the only thing this thing do. I can put another email and it's going to display the same. So probably we would like to jump into the code itself.
Yeah, let's take a look.
So here, of course, I'm importing dependencies. So I'm using .emp just to have my credentials in an M file. I'm using Nylas, of course, to be able to read the emails, the threads, and the profile images. I'm using Sinatra because it's a web application. I'm using Nokogiri. It's a gem that will help us clean up the message. So like get rid of everything that it's HTML or things like that. Here I'm initializing my Nylas client. So passing the application ID, application secret, access token. Here is a function called clean content, which is going to call the Nokogiri gem, just to get rid of, like here it said, like script, style, and everything that when you read an email, it's going to have like a lot of tags and everything. So just removing that. Here, we're going to get the contact associated with the email address. And that's because we want to actually get the image of the person. So here we just go Nylas contacts where the email, for example, my personal email, and then it's going to return the contact. So with that, I'm going to be able to go and download the profile picture we're going to do here. So we're going to say Nylas contact find. We're going to use the ID of the contact. Here we're going to have the name of the contact. We're going to say that it's going to be a PNG file, and we're just going to download it to our local folder. Here, when we call the application for the first time, which is doing this, it's just going to display this, right? So just going to call the layout, which is this one. And by the way, we're using Tailwind, and we're also using Flowbyte. And we're going to talk about that a little bit. And then we'll call in our main IRB, which is going to just show this, because we're just starting with the application. So once we input something, and say, for example, my name here and press search, then we're going to grab that email and we're going to search all threads related to that email address. So as easy as just saying Lila's threads where, I'm going to look in the inbox for that particular email address. And we're going to grab all the threads. So here we're just going to loop through them, but obviously we want threads that have more than one message, because I mean, if I send an email to you, Ram, and you never reply, that's not actually a thread because it's only one message. So we want at least 2 messages. Once we get that, we want obviously the title of the first message. And then we're just gonna loop through them. We're gonna get the contact based on the email address of the person who is writing the email. We're gonna download the picture. And here, and you can see that I love regex. We're gonna use some regex to pretty much get rid of the on Saturday 19 Black Sendis. So this one is gonna get rid of that. Then this one is gonna get rid of the email. This one is gonna get rid of the cell phone. This one is gonna get rid of the Twitter handle. We're gonna convert the time into something more readable than just the epoch, which is just a long number. If we don't have the image for the contact, we're just gonna say this not found PNG. So we just displayed like not found instead of not displaying anything. And then we're simply gonna push everything into an array, and then we're gonna have like a huge array having everything displayed. And that's because here, when we get here, we're gonna ask first, if we don't have any threads, then it's gonna displayed like this, like empty, right? Once we do search, it's going to start searching. It's going to start looking for the threads. And here we're going to declare an accordion. And this one is coming from Flowbyte. And Flowbyte is simply some additional tools or elements that you can use on top of Tailwind.
So Flowbytes is more so like components built off of Tailwind. So drop downs or selectors. In this case, we're using an accordion.
Yes, exactly. You got the right word. So here we're going to look to each of the threads. We're going to define the heading, which is going to be the title. We're going to define the body. And we're going to say that it's collapsible. So what I mean is when we click here, it's going to display whatever is inside the accordion. Here we're going to show the image. We're going to put the message. And pretty much we're going to fill in the accordion. So we're going to put the image. We're going to put this message here. We're going to put the message itself. And then we're going to go through the next message, put the image, put when it was sent, put the message, and so on. And then we move to the next thread and do the same.
So in anytime you're searching, you're going to the Nylas API, grabbing the different threads for that email. And then from there, you're getting all the contact related information, such as their image, their name. And then you're essentially just kind of filtering that email to only show useful information that we want to display, such as the message, and as well other basic information like the time the message was received.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Just to make it easier to consume. And when you look on Gmail or you look on Outlook or something like that, it's going to display a lot of information. So sometimes it's kind of hard to see.
Yep.
Here it's like, this is what we need. This is all the information we need. And also with the image, we make it nicer to see who is interacting on the messages.
Which Nylas APIs are we using again?
So we're simply using here the contacts endpoint, Nylas contacts. We're also using Nylas threads.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Oh, Nylas messages, of course, because we need to actually get the body of the message.
Gotcha. So this is using the actual Nylas SDK, the Ruby SDK.
Yes.
Cool.
Here is requirements.
And we have SDKs in multiple languages. So we have in Java, Python, Ruby, and Node. And as well, you can use the APIs itself. So you're not limited by the SDKs if you need to use Nylas or when you're using Nylas to grab communication data. That demo is pretty good.
Yep. Thank you. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Just let us know. That's actually the blog post is already posted. If you go and search on nylas.com blog, you're going to see it's there already. So you can check it out. Also, don't forget that we have our github.com Nylas samples, where we basically put almost everything that we do on live streams on the blog post. We're going to put it there on GitHub. And of course, go to our YouTube channel, youtube.com, just see that's Nylas, and just subscribe. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you would like us to cover, and we're going to be our best to accommodate.
Awesome. Black, that was great. I like the demo. It's really interesting how you can take email and make it much simpler to consume and go through. So thanks for walking us through that.
Yeah, sure. My pleasure. And thanks, Ram, for joining me as always.
Anytime. We are on Wednesdays and Fridays, so we'll see you all again on Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Bye. Take care.
See you.